All right, good morning, everyone. The Hammer here with you. Just wanted to jump on here real quick, talk about some profit boosts that are up for grabs this Saturday. FanDuel and DraftKings both have a handful of those. I'm a FanDuel guy. Nothing against DraftKings. I just like FanDuel's format better. And good God, she could have probably rolled a bowling ball and done better on that kick. Anyway, I know everybody's watching game day and probably not really listen to me, and that's okay. You can go back and watch this in a few minutes or whatever, or sometime later because this is going to spread out over the course of the full day. But there were several. Excuse me, I'm still battling here. There were several profit boosts available for college football today, and I know a lot of folks have messaged me over the past few weeks asking, hey, what are you doing with this? What are you doing with that? How would you play this? Whatever. So I thought I'd just jump on here real quick, show you what I'm going to do with these profit boosts. You got to be kidding me. She just made that kick. Holy cow. Well, okay, whatever. Anyway, I think $10 is what I'm limited to on these, and I'm assuming that's probably what everybody is. I do well. I don't do that well that I would be limited on these profit boosts. But anyway, well, good for you, girl. Hey, they got more money than you do, so take it. So congrats to the young lady that just made that kick. Good for you, honey. Anyway, sorry, I've got it up here. I'm trying to keep up with what's going on there too. But hey, congratulations to her. So anyway, what I'm going to do with let's see if I can get this pulled up here. Most of you guys probably aren't going to be able to see this, and that's okay. I'm going to go over it real quick. So they had a couple game-specific profit boosts, one of those being the Florida State-Miami game. And I just played this real simple. It's a 50% profit boost. I just took Florida State plus 4.5. I think this is going to be the first real test for Miami, and we've already seen Florida State handle a top tier team at home. So let's see what the Seminoles can do. I think Carson Beck may be in for a little bit of a tough day. Certainly hope so. So just playing that straight up, Florida State plus 4.5, $10. It's going to pay 23. The other straight lane game is going to be the Alabama Vanderbilt game. What I'm doing with this one, because y'all look, Bama's had this game circled on their calendar for a solid year. They rolled into that dump in the West End last year and basically just got embarrassed by Peabody. And so I think this is going to be one of those, empty the cannons, burn the ships. So I'm actually playing this a little stronger on the Alabama side. I'm going with the over 59.5 total points because I think Peabody can score. I don't think this is going to be a defensive battle by any means. Both these offenses can click. But I'm bumping Bama up for 2 touchdowns. So I've got Alabama minus 13.5 and over 59.5 for the total. Now, both of those are getting into plus money, so a little bit of a risk, but hey, it's $10. It'll pay 45, and I just think that this is where we find out really what Vanderbilt's made out of. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, I know their offense has been scoring a lot of points, and yes, I know they've been rolling people, and yes, I know they went to Columbia and they beat South Carolina pretty soundly. But keep in mind, Lenore Sellers got knocked out of that game early, so the majority of that game that they won by 24 points was against a backup quarterback. And we all know how important Lenore Sellers is to that South Carolina offense. So I'm not fully drinking the Kool-Aid on Vanderbilt, but we'll find out today. So that's why I'm not getting real heavy in this game, and I probably would have played more than $10 on this if I could. I do like the over to 54.5, 55.5, wherever it's sitting right now, depending on where you're looking at it. But I just, man, I hate it because I don't ever want the Gumps to win anything. I hate Peabody too. God, this just sucks, doesn't it? Anyway, I just think everything points to Bama just stomping Vanderbilt in this game. And, if I'm wrong, hey, I'm wrong. But give me the home team, big favorite, revenge spot. Diego Poverty has shot his mouth off all season long, not just about us, about everybody. And I think this is where he gets the big shit burger to eat. The other two boosts, let me get to that one last. There was a 30%, I think it's a Bussin' with the Boys podcast boost. It's a 30% boost. So what I've done with this game is I just went real chalky. This is almost embarrassing to show some of these numbers, but hey, we're talking about money, right? And you attack it in any way that you can, because these books got way more money than any of us do put together. So I ain't ashamed of it. So what I've got here, it's just a plus 512 parlay. It's 15 legs, all money lines, I think. I've got Michigan over Wisconsin, Georgia over Kentucky, which I think today Georgia can name their number. Ohio over Ball State, Navy over Air Force. One thing about that game, be sure at some point today you tune into and check out that Navy Air Force game. Air Force is going to wear some badass uniforms today, and it's a tribute to, I think it's the F-15 fighter jet. It's going to be sweet. They always have awesome uniforms for these games. So if nothing else, tune in and check that out. Big Navy guy. My dad was in the Navy 42 years. So I'm all about Navy, but I'll never cheer against any of the service academies. That's just not American to do. So hope Navy wins. Clemson over North Carolina, Arizona over that Division III school they got in Stillwater. Penn State over the volleyball player. Notre Dame over Boise. Going to be a lot of points in that game, I think. SMU over Syracuse. Texas State over the fighting Lyle Joneses. Old Dominion over Coastal. Texas Tech, the best team in Texas, over Houston. Ohio State over Minnesota. Memphis over Tulsa. And Fresno State over Nevada. Now, it's $10. It pays $61, but it's a 30% profit boost. So I'm just looking for low-hanging fruit here. I'm not trying to string together some big elaborate parlay and hang $50 or $100 on it. That's just not what I do with parlays. I'm not a super fan of them to begin with, but these profit boosts are just too good to let go. And then the final one I'm going to cover real quick. It's an 11-leg parlay. It's a boost builder. Now, what that is on FanDuel is for every leg you add, you get an additional 10 to 15% boost on your profit. And you can take it all the way up to 105%. So I built a plus 1354 parlay. With this profit boost, it jumps to plus 2776. That's plus 2,700. So a $10 wager pays $287. So kind of the same thought process I put into the money line parlay, I put into this. Now the kicker or the trick on this parlay is it can't be anything over a minus 400 leg. So no matter what you take, it has to be under minus 400 odds. So I kind of pushed the envelope a little bit. Now, start with Georgia. Again, I think they can name their number against Kentucky. The one reason I'm not going super high on this play is because Kirby's got a certain level of respect and I think relationship with Mark Stoops. So even though they could probably beat them by 30 plus, I don't necessarily think we see that. I mean, the game's going to play out how it plays out, but I just don't see Kirby intentionally dropping the hammer on Kentucky today. So I'm comfortably feel like Georgia wins that game by 10. So we'll take Georgia minus 9.5. I'm going to take Clemson minus 6.5 against the daycare school. Navy minus 3.5 over Air Force. I think they roll them. Air Force's defense is terrible, y'all. I've got Pitt plus 4.5 against Boston College. Now, I think Pitt wins this game. It's 6.5 a spread, and I think I even played that straight up. But for parlay purposes, let's be safe. Let's take Pittsburgh a little more than a field goal at home against the team they should beat soundly. Cincinnati, Iowa State. I think this is going to be a really good game. The line's only like 1.5. Cincinnati's at home. Iowa State is missing both of their starting cornerbacks. And as Tennessee folks, we know what that can mean to your defense, having been in that position all year. So I think Cincinnati probably just wins this game outright regardless. But if I can get 9.5 points included in this profit boost parlay, I'm all for it. Arizona State minus 8.5 over Okie State. Louisville plus 3.5. They're at home against a pretty solid Virginia team, but I'm telling you right now, this Louisville team is cooking. And I feel like they're probably going to control this game start to finish. Texas State minus 3.5 again against the fighting Lyle Joneses. Texas Tech minus 3.5. TCU minus 3.5 against Colorado. So as long as the Texas teams win by more than a field goal, this is going to come home. And then Memphis minus 9.5 against Tulsa. This is probably going to be a pretty big blowout. Tulsa's not very good, and Memphis at home at night. It should be a pretty, I won't say comfortable, easy win. There's no easy wins in college football really, but I think Memphis is in a good spot. So that $10 on those kind of ridiculous spreads is going to pay $287 if it comes home. So, I know it's tempting sometimes to build up these great, big, huge, massive, plus money parlays, plus 5,000, 7,500, 10,000, whatever. And that's fine. I mean, it's your money, it's your boost, whatever you want to do with it, do it by all means. But I like to kind of water these things down, get, minus 400 is probably a pretty good neighborhood. I mean, we've seen, teams favored with minus 750, minus 800 odds lose. So nothing's guaranteed. But things go as they probably should. I don't see anything on this that just screams, oh no, there's no way that's going to lose. So that's what I like to do with these profit boosts. I like to get as close to, no locks, no guarantees. I don't even like using those words, but get as close to a sure thing as you can get and just get money, just win some money and take some of the sweat out of it. We certainly had a couple sweaty games last night. If you were a BYU backer on the spread, you're just gutted this morning, and I hate that for you. Luce and I discussed it offline, and we both thought it was just too many points. And up until about 3 minutes left to go in the game, it looked like we were going to be wrong. And then lo and behold, BYU's defense just breaks down after that goal line stand, and then they give up that stupid touchdown at the end. So if you had BYU in the points last night, my condolences. Same thing with New Mexico. They had a stupid tip ball in the end zone caught for a touchdown against them, and then they had a touchdown call back for a holding call. So just some dumb, bad beats last night. And so that's a little bit of a rage bet here for me. I'm going to be honest with you on some of these profit boosts, but I want my money back, damn it. So that's how we're going to roll with it. So, again, you can find these same ones. Well, not these same ones, but you can find these profit boosts on DraftKings. If you're a DraftKings guy or gal, by all means, they've got very similar boosts. But I would just encourage you, don't overthink these profit boosts. Don't go stringing together some big elaborate, like I know I see a lot of times these guys on Twitter, man, they will put out these stupid, ridiculous parlays for this just boatload of money. and then everybody jumps on it and something stupid happens. Well, something stupid could happen here too, but I think it's just a better strategy going into it, watering these things down and giving yourself a shot at legitimately winning some money versus, taking some wild and crazy off the wall, crazy plus money bets and pile them together in the hopes of hitting something big. We see it. We all see it week in, week out. But I'm telling you, those are few and far between. For every one of those mega lotto tickets that hit, I can show you 10,000 more that didn't. So whatever you do, just be smart with it. I want everybody to win. I love seeing people, even if it's not my play, if it's somebody else or whatever. If you just totally fade me like I do Trent, that's great, because that's the whole purpose of what I do, what Luce and Josh and Ferris and we all get together and do that. That's the whole purpose of it, is we're trying to figure out ways and angles to clobber these sports books. So best of luck to everybody. I hope everybody rakes. I would love to see some slips that you guys hit shared. I'll repost them, whatever you guys want to do. But I thought I would just share some insight into what I'm doing today as far as parlays, profit boosts, things like that. I do have a couple teasers and a couple other spots that, excuse me, y'all forgive me. Still trying to get over this stuff. I don't mind sharing those. And if you want to link to any of these that I just went over or put out, just send me a direct message. I'll be glad to share the link with you, and do whatever you want to with them. Play them, fade them, rework them, whatever. That's just what I'm doing. And I know sometimes we get wide-eyed when we see these profit boosts and think, oh, we can go out here and drop $5 and win 20 grand. I mean, you can. It's just not likely. And I just think there's better ways to go about taking advantage of some of the things that they offer on these boosts. So good luck to everybody today. I hope we rake, cash them out left and right. And for us Tennessee folks, it's going to be a fun time to sit back and watch a few games and get ready for the secretary and the motorcycle to come rolling into Knoxville next week. So good luck to everybody today, except Florida. And I will catch up with you guys soon. Take care. Good luck.